We're with Ascension Episcopal Blue Gator head coach Matt Desormeaux. Coach, coming off of a season where you came so close to winning a state championship, just short of your goal, how long does that kind of sit with you, and what do you preach to your players to kind of just move on and look, it's a new year?
You know, I mean, it was tough, you know, that night, but you know, us as coaches, we kind of have a sickness, you know, we don't enjoy the good things. We look ahead to the next year and try to figure out, well, how are we going to replace this guy, how are we going to replace that guy, and you know, our kids have done a great job. You know, they understand that, you know, what the ultimate goal is, and they've worked even harder this year than they have ever in the past before, and you know, that's kind of thing we preach. You know, last year wasn't good enough, you know, so we didn't do enough to prepare to get there. And you know, those guys, they took it to heart, and they've been putting in extra hours every day during the summer, and you know, they've worked very hard to get where we are right now, and hopefully, you know, we have another great year.
You mentioned, you know, you think about the guys you got to replace. Who do you think's what's the biggest position you do have to replace from last season?
You know, without a doubt, the receivers. We had two really good receivers on the edges, and Zach Ronquillo and Ronald LeBlanc. And you know, that's definitely gonna be the toughest to replace. You know, we have a couple guys, you know, in mind, some older guys that play a lot of defense. You know, that are definitely gonna take up the role early on. And hopefully we can find some young guys that can give them a rest here and there. You know, so we're hoping some guys can step up and take up to that role. But you know, it's be hard to replace the type of talent that those two guys that we had last year had. But you know, I think the guys we have are going to do a really good job.
How much does your brother, former head coach, now coaching on the Cajun staff, and sometimes he's traveling on Fridays, he's busy, but how often do you guys talk about the program, and how much does he still kind of, obviously he's not coaching in it, but just follow it closely from the inside?
You know, he definitely follows the program a lot. You know, we talk pretty much weekly, I'd say. You know, sometimes depending on schedules, you know, it's tough to get in touch sometimes depending on what's going on. But you know, we keep in touch, we're pretty close, and he definitely does keep an eye on the program, you know, especially he still has some guys that he coached, you know, when they were there. I could see, you know, in the future maybe kind of drifting a little bit when those guys all graduate, but he, you know, he has a really close relationship, especially with this year's senior class. You know, so he's definitely involved. You know, he asks about the guys all the time, and you know, is checking up on them.
How are you guys going to accomplish that goal this year? How do you get back to the Dome and win it?
You know, first and foremost, we got to stay healthy, which sometimes you can't really control. But you know, for us to have a chance to do something like that, we need all our guys, you know, all on board. You know, and we got to get a little more consistent. You know, make good decisions. You know, the right decisions all the time. You know, our guys did a really good job last year. You know, Jake Vasco, our quarterback, especially. You know, his first year starter at quarterback as a junior last year. You know, he did a really good job. But you know, there were a few times where he made some minor mistakes and bad decisions, and we were fortunate we had those two receivers on the edge to bail him out. And you know, we've had this discussion before. You know, we don't have those guys anymore, and I think he knows that, and he's putting extra hours over the summer, you know, film study and things like that. And you know, those are the kinds of things, you know, not just at the quarterback position, but all over the place. We have to make better decisions and continue to be consistent.
Coach Desormeaux, catch Blue Gator football all season long on Talk Radio 960 and TalkRadio960.com. Thanks for sitting down with the Acadiana postgame. Good luck this year, Coach.
Thank you.